Konnichiwa, this is the Shogunstein, and this is not a review of either of these games. Rather, what I want to do in this video is show you the difference between what you get for $20 at a used game fair, used game event, which we have a lot of here in the Phoenix area, versus a brand new game that I purchased off Amazon from a small publisher. So again, this is not a review or a commentary on the quality of the actual gameplay, which is obviously very important and is a different discussion. What I just want to do today is just discuss how much you get for your money. And there's all this talk about this was a bad year in board gaming and companies shutting down and people losing jobs in the industry. Well, let me show you Shogun Solitaire, which is a game that I purchased off Amazon. It's from Worthington Games. It's a solo game. And off Amazon, this was $40. I believe off their website, it was a lot closer to $30-something plus shipping and handling. So you're talking about the same. So again, not a commentary on the game, but for $40, I got these pieces of cardboard with 3 pictures of feudal Japan, Sengoku era Japan, a castle, some nice mountain scenery, and a deck of cards, good quality cards, nice art on the cards, and that's $40. So my $40 got me small box, 4 pieces of cardboard, and then, these little markers here, and a deck of cards. That was $40. This weekend we had 2 big game fairs here in the Phoenix area, and at one of the game fairs I purchased Patriot, the deluxe edition, which was a Kickstarter a couple years ago, not too long ago, but maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And for $20, I got the deluxe edition. It came with this White House dice tower, metal coins, laminated player aids, all the cards are sleeved, minis, and a playmat. This game also has a solo mode, which also includes a 1 to 2 player campaign mode and a cooperative mode, which goes up to 6. Again, not a commentary on which game is actually a better game, and that is an important discussion to have. But what I just want to do here is just talk about the difference between, again, buying something new at MSRP in board gaming in 2025. This is what $40 got you. This is going to the used game market. So again, you're not getting the FOMO game. You're not getting the game the second it came out. But again, this was a game that I was interested on Kickstarter. When I saw the Kickstarter, I almost backed it. It was big money. I didn't back it. I waited a little bit, picked it up for $20. So as we are talking about what's going on in board gaming and why maybe companies are going under, why there are so many less content creators, I think this is something you need to talk about. And it's just, I understand that this maybe was a smaller company and maybe it's expensive to print all this stuff. And again, you can have and I've done this in other videos, we can have an interesting discussion on tariffs. This country has been fighting about tariffs going all the way back to Alexander Hamilton's financial plan. But the bottom line is $40 buying something new versus going to a used game swap, which was full of games. There were so many games there for sale, so many different types of games, so many, whether Kickstarter games, classic games, just so many games. And again, all of this for $20. So I'm sorry, I'm not, I don't have Bill Gates kind of money. I don't have Jeff Bezos kind of money. So this is $40 is a big chunk of change for basically a deck of cards and a cup and some cardboard. I think when you look at board gaming, and again, people are going to talk about return on investment, shelves of opportunity. There's all these buzzwords. But the bottom line is it's an expensive hobby. It's becoming a very collector's hobby. It's becoming a completionist hobby. It's also a hobby where you get some of the so-called leaders or gatekeepers who brag about, blocking people and keeping people out of the hobby that for issues that have nothing to do with the hobby. I don't care how people voted when I'm playing a game with them. I'm playing this game about trying to, this game with different scenarios, the campaign mode here where I'm trying to unify, Japan. I don't care. Well, this is a solo game, so I'm not playing with anyone. But if I'm doing this as cooperative, I'm trying to figure out the hidden role. I don't care how people voted. But again, you have an industry where you get people that brag about blocking people and banning people and canceling games. You can't have a code words Harry Potter game. All these things that prevent people from going into the hobby. And again, $40 is a lot of money. I can go to Target, and if I get my flu shot, and I have my red bonus card, I've gotten nice games like Horrified for like $15, $20. If you're going to charge $40 for a deck of cards, and then you wonder why people are buying less games, I don't have to have an engineering degree. I don't have to be a nuclear physicist to figure that out. And for those people that are thinking of joining the hobby, and if you're worried about some of these crazy prices, or those people who are affected by the economy for whatever reason, go to the used game mart. You don't have to get the newest, shiniest game right away. You don't have to get the dual version of a game you already have. You don't have to get the 3D printed $200 copy of a game you already have 2 versions of. Go to the used game fair. In all the games that I didn't back on Kickstarter, within, I would say 2 to 3 years of that Kickstarter coming out, I would say just about every game that I almost backed and didn't back, I found at the used game fair for pennies on the dollar. And again, usually the fully deluxe version. And in a different video, I think I showed you the dog park. Dog park was one of the ones that was on my list for the longest time. Took me a couple of years to finally find it. I almost bought the retail copy for like $50, $60 off Amazon a couple times. I waited, ended up getting the full deluxe with all the expansions, all the, the bells and whistles for $40. That would have cost me over $100 if I had ordered it brand new. So maybe play the games you have and just wait, hit the game market. And I think it's the best way to buy a game. And again, this is not a knock on this game. This is not an endorsement of this game. I'm just saying this is a lot of game for $20. This is not a lot of game for $40. Just something to think about as we wonder why the hobby seems to be shrinking. This is the Shogunstein out.